Welcome to the Class Business Podcast. I'm Krissy Monaghan, your host, and today we're joined by Simon Gordon, the founder of Alexander Media Creative and one of our judges for the Class Business Awards. Simon helps businesses grow their brand through photography, video, website, and creative content. He works with business owners to help them stand out online and get seen by more people. I'm really excited about diving into this conversation and hearing more about Simon's journey, his business, and what he's looking for as a judge for the Class Business Awards. So let's dive in. Simon, it's absolutely amazing to have you with us today. For everyone who is listening online or watching us on YouTube, can you tell everyone who you are, what do you do, and where do you do it?
Okay, so my name is Simon Gordon. I run my own creative agency called Alexander Media Creative. A lot of people call me Alex because they see the name, but it's actually my middle name. So I've stopped correcting people now. But basically what I do is I work predominantly with female-led SMEs to help elevate their presence online. So we use a combination of photography, videography, website design, social media content creation, and branding. And then within that, whatever the client needs, whatever combination, I put packages together. And then I've just recently launched some masterclasses as well to help. So if you already have a website, let's say, for instance, but you need a bit more coaching as to what to put in your website, I've created a masterclass for that. I've created a 2-day masterclass to help people create content on their phones, smartphones, video for social media, and an introduction to kind of your business presence online, social media, web design, all that kind of stuff as a starter. So there's a few that I've created. So I do a combination. I'm trying to help people wherever they need that help.
That sounds amazing. So how did you get into, what was the first interest? Was it photography or video or social?
Okay, so what happened, my story is that I came out the corporate world because I used to be a transport planner.
Oh,
so I used to work on.
That's so completely different.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. I used to be a transport planner for about 10, 11 years. So I worked on major roads like M6 Junction, 10 Junction. I was part of the design team for that. All the metro extensions through Birmingham, I was on the design team for that. I got on that through a graduate scheme from a local council who were just looking for degree qualified people. I was like, yeah, that looks like a good career. Let me go for that. And then, so I did that for a while, and then I got made redundant, and then I just started volunteering at my local church that I go to. And then I started helping someone look at their Facebook page, and then it literally grew from there. And then my pastor said, "So, do you know anything about websites?" And I'm like, "No, but I'm good with computers." He's like, "Yeah, have a look at our website. It's just been newly designed and it's rubbish." And I'm like, "Right, okay." And so that's the way my brain works. So I'm really good at like kind of being given something, go away, learn it, replicate it or build it and whatever. And so it literally, my whole creative journey has come through literally volunteering in my local church and then figuring out how to do web design. And then I bought my iPhone 7 Plus back in the day, so you can see how many years ago that was. And then and then I wanted to take photography using that in our church services to try and show an authentic side to our church, because I suppose you can use this with any business. When you go on a business website, you can see lots of stock photos, which doesn't show anything. It just kind of gives a visual representation to a certain degree. And so if you're trying to attract people to come to your church or come to your website, your business, you want to actually show people authentic photos. And so that's where the photography came. And then I was like, okay, so I kind of taught myself photography on my phone. And then I bought a MacBook Pro and a professional camera, an entry level. Then taught myself photography through that. YouTube has been my teacher. 95%, I would say, of what I've learned is YouTube. Then I went on to video. Then I brushed up my skills more on web design, and then I started looking at social media content and graphics using Canva and this. So it's kind of, it wasn't planned at all. It kind of just slowly but surely, I learnt one thing and then I did something else and then I did something else and then started opening Photoshop and making small brands.
It's just evolved from there. And how long have you been doing this all for now?
I've just done my 9th year in the creative area. So I ended up working for my church for 6 years. And then I came out of that and I've been working for myself for probably 2 years and 8 months. The business has been going 3 years because I started it up while I was still at church and then got made redundant from church because of funding stuff and whatever. And so I've been going on my own since September 2023.
That sounds like such an amazing story. And obviously so what do you enjoy doing the most? Is it the photography or the videography? Or you just like doing all of it? Okay,
so I like to be honest with people. I get bored easily. So if I was just doing photography, I love photography. I love event photography especially, and brand photography or portrait. I love getting creative. But if I was to just do that all the time, I'd just be like, oh. So I love doing video as well. I love filming conferences. I love getting event highlights, filming talks, putting edits together. I create video promos. Like recently, I've been working with Hensford Town Football Club, who are a non-league team. I've been doing quite a bit of videography and photography for them, a mixture of paid and voluntary work. And I've loved it. I've met so many people. I've come alive. I love interacting with people, but then I love to sit down and talk to people about, okay, what's your business? What's it about? How do you want to present that to the world? And then I'll sit and do web design for 2-3 days straight, focus like, right, let's do this. And then I like to go in and do, social media content creation for people. So I love doing the variety of things. I'd probably say mostly I enjoy the event photography and, portrait stroke brand photography, working with people. I love it because a lot of people start off, I hate a picture of myself. I hate this, so please help me. I'm like, don't worry. I'll take the first picture and I'll show them and they're like, oh, wow. No, I've never looked like that. And I'm like, yes, it's because it's my camera and my lens. Because everyone's taking photos on this, but it only creates flat photos. It doesn't give depth. It doesn't give natural contours. Whereas with a professional camera with a really good lens, it gives you all that and you look so different. So
what's your tips? Obviously, because the camera comes out and I'm one of those people right now and I just go... I'm turning into like Chandler Bing from Friends. Yeah. I never used to be. But now I'm like, oh, God, camera. And I know lots of people struggle with that, like with the camera. So what tips have you got to share on that?
So I would say, firstly, use portrait mode on your phone, because what that does is it tries to emulate what a professional camera does, where it tries to give a bit of depth. The second thing I would say is, if you're standing by a wall, take one step forward. So don't be flat against the wall, because again, it gives depth. And the third thing I would say is lighting. We talked about this before the session started, but get some decent lighting, because again, that helps light up. It gets rid of shadows and it helps light up your face and everything, your hair and all that kind of stuff. But then as the light's, shining on you and there's a gap between you and the wall, again, it creates depth. So it's softer on your face and, instead of your picture looking flat, it looks like it's more lifelike. So that's what I would say. Those are my 3 tips.
And then how do you get the best out of the client? So they're, like when you're taking their picture, like to get them to relax, like what's your tips there?
So, because I love people. So like, for instance, especially I do this for video and photography. Let's say for video, I will say, relax. This is a conversation between me and you. We're not looking for perfection. people just want to see you as your authentic self. So, and then with photography, what I do is I will put together a Pinterest board and I'll have some ideas. And sometimes I'll send it ahead and I'll say, look, this is what we're going to do. Is there any pictures that you like? Do you like the look of shoots that you've seen before? And so we have a lot of discussion. So they're kind of prepped. And then when we come to do the shoot itself, I'll get people, right, breathe, relax. This is what we're going to do. And I lead everything. So nothing's left up to them. So the more directed that I am, the more prep I do, the less stressed people are. And actually, within 2 minutes, they're like, oh, this isn't as, complex or as frightening as what I thought it was. And then I'm quite cheeky with things. And I say, yeah, because I'm doing it. That's why. But it's...
And do you do it that you organise brand shoots and stuff? So like people you can book to go to a studio, or you book or go to a location like outdoors and stuff?
So I've done a bit of both. The most that I've done, I do headshots in my office because I moved into my new office in January. So that's a big business achievement for me. But a lot of what I do is I'll take people out on location and we'll go outside and we'll do shoots outside. But then also because of the place where I'm based as well, we can rent offices that have really good kind of like scenic views or like, exposed brickwork, in the room and stuff like that. So we can get some office shots. We can get some indoor things. I go to people's houses and do it there. I've done shoots in local parks and different things like that. So I like to do a variety of different things because it all depends on the style. So my accountant at the moment, who's a very good friend of mine, her company's called Rebel Ledgers, and she's quite a rebel. She's got tattoos and she's like really funky and stuff. And she's like, right, okay, I want to go to Digbeth Custard Factory where there's lots of graffiti art and stuff, and she wants her brand photography there. It's in her name, Rebel Ledger. When you think of accountancy, you think corporate, you think finance, you think suits and this, that. But that's not her. Her personality is coming out in the name of her business and then her photos and what she wants. And so it's tailoring things to people's personality.
And then do you guide them as well on that? Because sometimes I can feel like people don't always know what they want for like the brand, isn't it? Like doesn't always marry up with the pictures, and it's trying to like get that either moving up like a level when they're like, I'm trying to sell this and this is my product and services, but then this is the way I'm coming across. And it's like, well, actually you need to elevate your brand shoots and stuff.
Yeah. So it's all about, for me, and this is what I've learned, kind of self-discovery, of which I still am. People are buying me in terms of it's my personality, it's who I am. And at first I thought, right, okay, I need to get a brand. I need to kind of make it impersonal because I want people to see this as a professional brand. But what I've realised is, for instance, in social media posts, when I post certain bits of work and whatever, I'll get a level of engagement, let's say 10 likes or something like that. However, when people see me, if I've done a selfie of something, and I don't do selfies much at all of a sudden the engagement goes up like tenfold, 50, 60, 70, lots of engagement and comments. And I realised, people want to see me. People are interested in me. Yes, they know what I do, but people are actually engaging in me. And so I use that kind of a mindset to help them understand and realise that, do you know what? There's thousands of photographers, there's thousands of accountants, there's thousands of lots of different coaches and trainers that are doing all kinds of things and providing all kinds of services. However, people are interested in you. If you're in the room and you're having a conversation, you can get a job like that because you've given a great vibe. And they're like, do you know what? This happened to me about a month or so ago. I met someone in a networking event and we really hit it off. We started chatting, lovely woman. She's just become a coach and she's just set up herself. And because we got on so well, straight away she was like, right, I need brand photography from you. Even before she'd seen any work, because she's interacted with me. And that's the thing that I'm trying to pass on to, other business owners that I'm working with. It's all about you and who you are, and people want to build relationships with you. And out of that, that's where people become, it builds up that trust, and then people want to work with you.
And then you look to try and get that out of them when you capture that,
Yes.
when you're doing the photographs or video.
Yeah.
So let's chat about video, because I feel like video is a different ball game, isn't it? Because photographs, most people will do them, but most people don't like being on camera. So what's your tips that you give to people when you're going to do a video shoot, or if they're wanting, like, I assume that some of it might be content stuff where they have to speak to camera?
Yeah. So I normally say to them, firstly, people aren't looking for perfection. This isn't TV. People just want to know you. Secondly, forget the camera. Look at me. So I'm normally sat right next to the camera, and I'll say, we're having a calm conversation about whatever the topic is. And if you mess up, it's fine. Just pause for 2 seconds, gather your thoughts, and then carry on, because I will edit it. We are not looking for perfection. People have in their minds, oh my gosh, I need to get everything right. I need to this, that, and the other. And I show people, when you look on YouTube, nothing is done in one take. All the professionals, they all go, what was that thing? But you never see it because they cut it. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of with interviews and things like that, so I've done interviews where I've been filming two people talking to each other. Just ignore me. Talk to each other. I'm just capturing it. That's all it is. So it's about prepping people and getting rid of all the preconceptions that are in their head. If they're talking to the camera because they're advertising something about their business or whatever, you're just talking to me. So tell me about Children's Business Awards. And I'd say, leave a couple of seconds and then just talk to me. You're talking to Simon. You're not talking to the camera. You're not trying to figure out, put on this thing. People just want to see you authentically. And that's it.
Oh, and that was some good tips there for people, because I do know that's a fear when people start recording video.
Yeah.
I have it with people when I'm, like, for social media, I like to use live video because I feel like it's easy, it's you, like you can do that. And I get a lot of people like, well, I want to pre-record it. And I'm like, what you'll find is when you try and pre-record and you make a mistake, like, you'll then end up having to go back again because you're trying to perfect it. Whereas if you just go live and then you say something that wasn't right and you're like, oh, sorry about that. People don't really care. They just see it as part of you. So I actually find it easier to be live and just do it instead of having to pre-record, because if I pre-record, I stuff up, I've got to start again, and then it's just that whole cycle. But it's just that conception of just being natural. And I like the way that you're saying, just like, look at me, not at the camera, so then people don't get that whole
and the other thing, and the other thing is, the more you do it, the less stressed you become anyway. So it's the thing of just keep doing it, keep practicing it. So live is really good because it puts you on the spot and people rewatch it afterwards. But the more you do it, the less stressed you are, because you're like, do you know what? And I've said this with a lot of my social media students that I've taught. Okay, I say this to everyone in the room respectfully, and I've said this to myself: the sooner you get over yourself, the better. The hang-ups that you have and all that, because people aren't looking at you to judge you thinking, did they say this perfectly? They're interested in what you've got to say. I'm standing here teaching you. Do I get everything perfect? No, it's conversational. So understand that actually people are really interested in what you've got to say. So relax into that. And the more you do it, the less stressed you become, and then it just becomes part of you.
Yeah, and that's what I say exactly the same. It's just practice, isn't it? And once you do it once, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And then it just becomes habit. You just do it normally. But it is that first step. So you're a judge with us for the Class Business Awards, which we're really excited about, because obviously you're going to come in with a different perception and angle. What are you looking for in the awards applications?
So I think for me, I'm looking for great stories of impact, because do you know what? There's nothing that hits people's hearts more than like a good news story. So, okay, I went through this and I've experienced this, or I've experienced family members that have gone through this and I've seen a problem. And actually I thought, do you know what? There's a gap here. Not because people want to make money, but it's like, I want to provide that service. I want to plug the hole there. I want to give this to someone. I want to be able to do this. And so, you know, it takes a lot of courage and effort for anyone to set up a business. I know this. Sometimes it's hard. It's grueling. However, for people to do things out of the goodness of their heart and having such positive impact on others because of what they're doing, that's what excites me. So I'm really interested to see, okay, let's see, you know, what kind of impact people these business owners are having, you know, on children, especially children. Do you know what? There's so much. I mean, we watch politics and we watch all these different things. There's so much cuts that are coming across the whole board, especially with youth and children's and all that kind of stuff. And these are vulnerables. Like when I was a kid, there were so many youth clubs you could go to. There were so many play schemes and all this kind of stuff. And it seems like we've lost our way as a country in terms of not getting into politics, but in terms of we need to invest more in our children, in our youth, because this is actually our next generation. And, you know, how the world will look in 100 years will really depend on what we invest in our kids now. I've got a 16-year-old daughter who's just doing her GCSEs as we speak, and I've got a 14-year-old daughter. And so what are we doing as a society to protect them and bring them through and to coach them and prepare them for the big wide world? Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with you. I mean, I grew up in London, and we had summer holiday clubs. We had adventure playgrounds, which they tore down, which were just the life and soul of every summer holiday. You took risks. You may have broken your arm. Like, it was that type of era where children were able to take risks to go out and play. So there was all the whole play-led. And then we had like the youth clubs, like you said, which were a valuable service in those areas that I lived in. And they've, like you said, they're just being taken away all the time. And now I feel like children are less risk averse because they've not been exposed like we were when I was growing up. And so now, obviously, the work that the class-based business owners are doing every day with the babies and the toddlers and the older children, primary and secondary, is so valuable because they're just not getting those opportunities that they had before. Yeah. And
it's really sad. It's really sad.
It is really sad, because when I think about the things I used to get up to as a kid, and I tell my daughter, and she's like, no way you did that. I was like, well, that's what we did in the 80s.
Yeah. 100%.
We were riding around on BMXs, building brick ramps, and like we were shooting off the scaffold. It's like we did the stuff. Like, that's what we did. There wasn't really the opportunities that there weren't, like, no performing arts schools to go to. That wasn't even there. And obviously, as it's changed, we've got more and more opportunities that have available, which is great for people that have been, you know, started up their business and invested. But then, like you said, there is the swing of that as well, where services that were needed by those communities are just disappeared. And then those young people and children are not getting exposed to those activities, which it is, you're right, it is very sad.
It's the, I find, and I'm having to look at myself here as well, because I've been thinking I don't have enough fun in my life. And recreation, when you have fun, when you have recreation, it heals your mind. It brings your stress levels down. It that enjoyment, the endorphins that are released and all that kind of stuff, it helps you to cope with life. It helps you to carry on. And, you know, kids need fun. It's not just about academia and whatever.
Yeah.
And so many kids, even at home, are going through so much where they have nothing. Like, they have nothing, some kids. And it's like my daughters have come home and given their lunch away before, or given, you know, some of their lunch money to other kids because, like, they've got nothing. And, like, kids need investment. Kids need, like, love. Kids need attention. And in some of the youth clubs and stuff, like, they will get that. They will get one-to-one. They will feel love. They will feel like, and it's not like, oh, all their parents are bad. Some parents are working so hard just to make ends meet, and the kids are at home and there's nothing, and they're just there, you know, whereas being able to go to a youth club or a children's club where they can go, and whether it's fully funded or it's like 50p a session, that helps that family, that helps those children to receive love, to even receive a meal, to receive that love and attention, and even counselling, and just feel like they're seen and not forgotten kind of thing. So these things are so important, really important.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely hear stories because we've got such a range of different business owners, from people who run like community interest companies right through to people who are obviously running it as a business, but they still have a massive impact. And some are doing half funding where they're like working with schools and partnerships. So if anyone wants to come and find you and connect with you to find out more about your services, where's the best place to come to?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn and TikTok and YouTube. And so the handle is Alex Media Creative, all one word. So AlexMediacreative. And then my website is www.alexandermedia.co.uk.
Perfect. And I'm really excited to have you at the event on the 10th of October down at the National Conference Centre. It's going to be an amazing day. Thank you so much for being a judge with us and for giving up your time to do it for us.
Yeah, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting people, networking, and just being a part of something like this. You know, I really enjoy being a part of big projects like this. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome.